I'll start with Akhilesh. Akhilesh, can you brief about yourself?
Yes, yes. Actually, this site, I have completed BTech with Electronics and Telecommunication and having experience 7 to 8 years experience as a desktop support. So I want to improve my skills.
Vivek. Vivek, can you brief about yourself? You can unmute and speak, Vivek. Nikhil.
Hello, hello, sir.
Yeah, Nikhil, you can go ahead. Yeah, Ram, we can start. Let them chat in between.
All right. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Ram. I am your trainer for today. So you all are here for our DevOps Master course with Dashram Technologies. So welcome. Before starting the course, let me talk about myself for a few minutes. So my name is Ram. I work as a DevOps engineer at a reputable MNC. I'm still working. I have around total 8+ years of experience into IT, and I have around 6 years of training experience. Coming to my certifications, I am AWS Certified Solution Architect Associate as well as Azure Administrator. I conducted corporate trainings here and there also for intelligence, BSIT, also for NTT data. I have done the corporate trainings, and I am very passionate about teaching DevOps to people. So now let us have a word about something called DevOps. Before we go into what is DevOps, let us understand that DevOps is combination of two things. One is dev, the other one is ops. So dev means development, ops means operations.
Ram, sorry to interrupt you. Like, are you sharing any notebook or something? Notepad?
Yes,
We,
yes, I'm sharing my screen to you. Can't you see that?
we can see only the PPT, not the note.
You should be seeing it now.
Yes.
Yes? Yeah. Okay. So the word DevOps comes from two things, the combination of two things, dev plus ops. Dev means development, ops means operations. So usually this used to be called build and release engineering back then. Build and release engineering. What do you mean by build and release engineering here? So what do you mean by build and release engineering? Every company, wherever you go, will be making softwares in IT, right? Either it is a service-based company or it is a product-based company. The main thing they will be doing is creating the softwares. So when they are creating the softwares, they are creating softwares either for a client or for themselves. For example, we all are using Android phones and iOS devices, Apple phones and Android phones. The current version of Android is 12. The iOS current version is 18, right? This means there are 17 other versions of iOS and 11 previous versions of Android. So each and every version which you see here again has subversions. So this thing is continuously growing, continuously growing. Let us keep this continuous in our back of the head for some time. So what is DevOps? DevOps is not a tool, not a service. Not a tool, not a software. DevOps is a set of principles. DevOps is a set of principles. What set of principles are we talking about? We are talking about set of principles that combine software development with IT operations. What are the objectives of DevOps? The objectives of the DevOps are communication, achieving greater communication between teams to shorten the development life cycle and deliver the high quality software continuously. We are stressing on this word continuously all the time. Let us talk about why we are calling it continuous. Because these days, any softwares you see are continuously evolving. Why are they continuously evolving? Because of the upgrades, bugs, new features, etc., etc. So every software you see is bringing new features to the table every other day. For example, if you take your iPhone, until iPhone 15, there was no artificial intelligence in it. But now you see there is artificial intelligence in it. They are calling it Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence. Earlier, at the time of iOS 16, there was no feature called journal. Nowadays, in iOS 17, they started something called journal feature that is available. Even if you make a small piece of software, it requires continuous upgradation. That is where you get CI/CD. What is CI/CD? CI/CD is continuous integration and continuous deployment. Continuous integration and continuous deployment. This is where the essence of DevOps lies in. This is where the essence of DevOps lies in. Earlier, before DevOps practices came into existence, there was lack of communication between the teams, like waterfall model, the earlier agile models. There was no clear communication between the teams that are involved in manufacturing a particular software. But nowadays, people are actively collaborating together and making this software lifecycle easy. To understand this thing, let us have a look at a diagram that will give you an idea about the DevOps. Now, if you see this diagram, in this diagram, there are two components. One is development, one is operations. What is happening here is any software you take, even if you want to make a small calculator application, what happens here? It comes with some requirement gathering or requirements. What are the requirements for a typical calculator you are making? 0 to 9 plus minus into divided by percentage equal to and an all cancel button. This is the basic calculator you have. Open a basic calculator and you will see the same thing, right? Simple calculator application you take. If you take the simple calculator application, you are going to need these things and you are going to need one all cancel button. So now, will it be sufficient? No, it is not sufficient because you can do only basic calculations with this. You can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, percentage equal to like this only you can work. So tomorrow, there comes more requirements. So with these requirements, we will start the basic coding using one Java software or Python software or .NET software or language, Java language, Python language, .NET language, Golang language. We will be developing the application. How will we develop the application? Our developers will be sitting and writing the source code in chunks. and they will take this code and put them in a repository. In a repository. Repository is like a folder or a drive that is there on the internet. Where will this repository sit? It will sit on repository hosting services like GitHub or GitLab or Bitbucket or anything. Now, is the source code enough to make this application? No. You have to build this particular application into a file like a ZAR file or a WAR file or EAR file or MSI file or EXE file, depending on the requirement of the application you are developing. Once the build phase is done, testing is done on the build, and then it is ready for release and it will be deployed on something like containers or some servers it will be sitting on, and then it will be ready for operation. Now, all the people, you will release this particular calculator application for all over the world. Now, the people will download your calculator application and they will start using it. Then the users will tell you about bugs, about the improvements you can do, about the updates. We also do our own research and development, and we will be monitoring the application completely, and we will be seeing how the application is performing. Depending on all these things, we will make plan for version 2. Now that the version 1 is already in the market, we will be sending version 2. Now we will be coding for version 2, building, testing, releasing, deploying, operating, and again monitoring. And then again version 3 comes into picture. Again version 4 comes into picture. Again version 5 comes into picture. Like this, continuously the flow happens. Okay, sir, good. Very nice. You are saying that continuously applications are going out. Good. Then where is DevOps in it? Now you are saying that your developers are writing the code. Now your developers are sitting here. Your testers are sitting here. Where is this application going to sit? This is going to sit on a server. And where are these servers sitting? These servers are sitting on an infrastructure that may be a data center or a cloud or some other way, some other place. So now there are different cloud service providers that are available. AWS is there, Azure is there, DigitalOcean is there, Rackspace, Alibaba. There are several things. On cloud, your servers will be sitting, and in the servers, the entire process runs. So now, to manage the infrastructure, to manage the servers everywhere, you are going to need ops people. With these ops people, there are also security people who will be doing penetration testing, vulnerability tracking, this, they will be doing to make your application be strong. So this is where the developers, testers, operation teams, security, everyone are coming together to make the release of the software be sustainable. Good, very good, sustainable, right? So how is this entire thing going to happen? We are going to need that thing. So now let us see how this infinity loop is driven with the tools we have. For example, we have a requirement. According to the requirement, what we will be doing? Our ticket dispatch team will be raising the ticket to the developers. Then developers will do what? According to the requirement tickets, developers will write the source code, and all the chunks of source code are pushed into the repository that is there on GitHub. So now the GitHub is connected to a tool called Jenkins. This is heart of the DevOps pipeline, because Jenkins is the tool that connects every other tool by using something called master-slave architecture. And Jenkins has the capability to delegate the tasks to all other tools that are connected to it. So this is where the continuous integration and continuous delivery happens. Now Jenkins is connected to something called Maven. What does Maven do? Whatever source code that came until here into the GitHub, it will integrate the particular code into a build. It will build. Basically, it is a build tool. When will it build? The Maven is connected to a tool called Sonar Cube. Sonar Cube is used for code quality testing. Here, for example, we will put 98% code quality. If 98% is achieved, you can go for build. So once the source code is here, Sonar Cube will tell Maven to build the source code into a particular solid chunk of code or application that is called jar file. If it is a Java file, it is a jar file. Then on the jar file, dependency check is done. The dependency check is done. In the dependency check, vulnerability scan on the jar file is done. If you have found any problems with it, we will go back. Otherwise, we will move one step ahead and go into the artifactory like Nexus repository. In the Nexus repository, the versions of the files will be saved. Once it comes to the repository, Nexus repository, the jar file is sent into a containerization tool called Docker. What is Docker basically? Earlier, what we used to do I have seen one of your profile with VMware. What does VMware do? VMware usually does the virtualization. In the virtualization, we will be creating the virtual servers onto something called hypervisor. So even though this is a good technology, the migration of VMs has become a headache for people. That is why they came up with small isolated chunks of environments that are called containers. And for this containerization, we are using the tool called Docker. What is a container? Container is basically a runtime environment where you have the hardware requirements, memory, network, and you can run your application over here. Instead of running an application on a complete virtual machine, you are now taking a small portion of the container and running application inside it. So your jar file now is sent into Docker. Here, building and tagging is done. Building and tagging of the container is done. Then again, they will use a tool called Aqua Trivi over here, and they will do the vulnerability scanning on the built Docker image. Then Docker will do Docker push to the container orchestration tool called Kubernetes. In Kubernetes, various containers are managed. Multiple containers are managed using Kubernetes. Once it is deployed to Kubernetes, your application is live and running. Once it is running, we will be monitoring that application continuously with tools like Prometheus, Grafana, etc. Nice. We are running it. Now, also your pen testers will come here and use a tool like Zap to do the penetration testing. Now, there are two tools that are remaining in our DevOps, because many of the people who come to the DevOps will ask, sir, where is Terraform and Ansible? You did not talk about Terraform and Ansible. Okay, we are going to talk about Terraform and Ansible now. Don't worry. So, whenever the entire process of this particular pipeline is happening, you have so many tools that are there. Where are these tools sitting? These tools are sitting on servers. These tools are sitting on servers. Basically, what servers? Mostly they will be on Linux servers. Some of them are also using Windows servers, but very less number of people. The significant number of servers you find these days are Linux servers. So what happens here? Now, even if you take a small to mid-budget project, you will be having 5,000 to 10,000 servers that are running. So now, to make your application run properly, you have to tweak your Linux servers. You have to install services, you have to update services, you have to do kernel tuning, you have to do performance monitoring. How is your particular Linux server performing? What is it doing, etc., etc. You need to know. That is why we are going to learn Linux system administration and server administration also. Once you manually know how your server behaves, automating it with Ansible becomes easy. In Ansible, we are going to use a language called YAML. YAML means YAML ain't markup language. Using YAML, we will be writing scripts to make the automation of these administrative tasks on Linux servers smoothly. So Ansible is a configuration management tool. Using this configuration management tool, what will we do? We will be writing scripts to control all these servers automatically, or automation of the manual tasks that are done on Linux servers can be done here. Okay, fine. Then what is Terraform? What is Terraform? Terraform is an infrastructure as a code tool. When you have the servers, these servers should be sitting on an environment somewhere, whether it is a data center, whether it is cloud. Your server should be sitting somewhere. So, again, we have so many cloud service providers that are there. There is AWS, there is Azure, there is DigitalOcean, there is Rackspace, etc., etc., etc. You have so many cloud service providers. And each cloud service provider comes with its own infrastructure as code service. Okay. For example, if it is AWS, it is Cloud Formation Templates. Cloud Formation Templates. But it is vendor specific. Terraform has a huge support for the providers. So it can automate AWS, it can automate Azure, it can automate DigitalOcean, it can automate Rackspace, anything. So Terraform uses a language called HashiCorp language. We will be learning Terraform also in this. Okay, good. We have so many tools until now. Very good, nice, very well. We have so many tools. We have so much to do. We have so much process. Where should I start learning DevOps? There are three musketeers of your DevOps. There are three musketeers in your DevOps. I call them the three musketeers. What are the three musketeers we have? We have Linux, cloud expertise, and DevOps. These are the three musketeers of your success. First of all, you have to know how a server behaves. How a server behaves means what to do with a server, how to troubleshoot a server, what happens on a server. You should have to know it. That is why, like many others who are teaching DevOps, we won't be teaching Linux basics only. Because Linux basics only will not serve the purpose. We will make you learn both system administration and server administration in Linux. Once you have achieved this one, we will go ahead and learn something called bash scripting or shell scripting to automate the things that are there on system administration or server administration. So now, after learning the bash scripting, we will go ahead and learn AWS. AWS also, we won't be going with the basics. We will be going with solution architect associate level. Using these two learnings, you can also easily clear RHCSA, RHCE, and AWS Solution Architect Associate certifications. Architect Associate certifications. Also, if you want to write the certifications of the Red Hat or AWS, you can go ahead and write them and clear them also. Once we have learned AWS, we will venture out into the world of DevOps. When we are venturing out into the world of DevOps, what are we going to learn in it? We are going to start with Terraform, because freshly you have learned AWS, which will serve as the background for the Terraform. So Terraform we will learn. Then we will learn Ansible. You have already learned Linux. So you know the background of what happens if you write a code inside Linux. That is why we will learn Ansible. Then we will learn Git, Jenkins, Maven, SonarQube, Nexus, Docker, and then we will learn the basics of Kubernetes also in this course. And also, we will do 2 to 3 projects that will give you the idea of hands-on of how these tools are coming together and working together. Also, we will deal with the company nuances and different cultures of DevOps, which will make you understand the way DevOps works in a company. So, this is the demo. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. I can take questions. Any questions for me? Ganesh, you can take over. Yeah,
Any
please.
Akhilesh, Devashish, and also like Ram, like what are the concept, topics we are going to teach as part of this DevOps Master program?
I have already told that thing, right? So we are going to make them learn Linux, both system administration, server administration. We are going to make them learn AWS. In the system administration, server administration, we will also do the bash scripting, and then we will make them learn DevOps. And we will give them 2 to 3 projects on DevOps also.
Samiksha, do you have any questions?
Any questions?
Akhilesh,
Akhilesh, Vivek, Anthony, Shravan,
Yes, sir.
Santosh. Hello? Somebody was speaking. I cut them, I guess.
Nikhil, do you have any questions? Santosh,
Hello.
Yeah, Devasish, go ahead.
What will you learn in projects? How to learn like how to practice?
We will be completely doing it on cloud, Devashish. So it will be hands-on. We will be deploying applications on Docker. On Docker, we will do a project. Ansible Terraform, we will be integrating together with Jenkins, and we will be doing a project. We have 2 to 3 projects which we will be doing that will give you hands-on of complete learning of the DevOps pipeline.
It's totally based on real time or
It is completely based on real time. It is complete hands-on. There are no too less theoretical part. You have to get your hands dirty all the time. It's all complete hands-on. Any other questions for me?
Hello.
Yeah, Akhilesh, go ahead, please.
Yeah, manual class duration and what is the fee structure?
That Ganesh will tell you. Ganesh will talk to you about it. If you have anything related to the course, ask me.
I'll give you a call tomorrow and we'll discuss about the commercial part and everything.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you. I'm leaving this.
All right. Any other questions for me, Vivek?
Mahesh Abin, do you have any questions?
do you provide any video or only live classes?
Sorry?
Any video you provided or only live classes?
Live classes, and you will get the recordings also. You will get the recordings of all the classes which we are going through also. It is live class. It is an instructor led. Any other questions? Yeah, Varun, go ahead, please.
Yeah, see, hi Ram. See, my question is, suppose I am a DevOps engineer. So my, core job role, what will be? What will be my core job role? Suppose
It
I am a
really,
DevOps engineer. Do I need to coordinate with dev team and operation team, or what I will do?
it really depends on where you are sitting in the pipeline, basically. For example, they may give you the role of automation engineer, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are an automation engineer, they may be asking you to work with Ansible and Terraform. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or otherwise, you can be a Jenkins administrator. Or otherwise, you can be an SRE. It depends on the role, basically.
Got it. Got it.
It's not like you will be controlling the entire process of DevOps. You will be working on a part of DevOps.
Yeah, that was my doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe Ansible, maybe Terraform, maybe Jenkins, maybe Docker. Docker Kubernetes you can work on. Or sometimes they will be giving you Terraform plus Docker. It really depends. Depends on the nuances of the company also.
Got it. Got it.
Depends on the nuances, depends on the team, depends on the team members. What are they exactly doing? What role are they hiring you for in DevOps?
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Got it.
Yeah. Any other questions for me? You can ask questions, no problem. It's a two-way communication class. There is nothing to shy away from. And the recording is also stopped now. So I think recording is also stopped.